Hello and welcome back to another battle report on the Brother Grimdark channel, where today I will not be lonely and playing by myself. I'll be playing against the other half of the channel, which is my brother, and he's going to take you through the layout of the board, the heavy terrain, the light terrain, and all that sort of stuff. So,
hi guys, today we're playing Master Terminals. And for this mission we've got the deployment zones here and here, marked by these gold dice and these red dice, so it's like a triangle on opposite corners. We've got 4 objectives on each quarter of the board. These 2 objectives that are within ruins are basically columns, so you can be on the bottom, middle or top floor within triangle of the objective and you can capture it. As far as terrain goes, all of the buildings' ruins are heavy terrain, except for this piece here, which is light terrain, just because it's not got a floor on it. And the rest, these little pieces, the barrels and the crates, they're also light cover. Yeah, that's the board.
right, so the way you score VP in this mission is an operative will perform an action called Divert Power, which will cost 1 AP. You have to be within triangle to perform that. Once you have performed that action on an objective, it cannot have that action performed again. So for that turning point, it's essentially been looted, you could say. After the deployment section of the setup of the match, we will actually alternate selecting the number of each objective. And what that means is, let's say that was where number 1's going to be. In turning point 1, that is actually going to be disabled and you cannot perform the divert power action.
Once we disable them, it's probably going to be a good idea to turn it over, just to symbolise that it's disabled, and then it's obvious to you guys that it's disabled as well, so it's not confusing.
Yeah, that's the mission. So what we're going to do now is just going to roll off to see who gets to choose who is the attacker, and then we can go from there. So we'll just roll off now.
Got a 4
on my dice, which is interesting. And I got a 2.
Beat you on your own dice.
So, doesn't bode well for me, that, but he's going to get to choose whether he is the attacker or I'm the attacker, and we're going to go through all the setup and come back to you. So we're back, and we've got the Greenskins versus the Tyranids. The Tyranids have detected a large presence and have smelt the Greenskins shuffling about in these ruins and decided they want a nice, tasty snack. The Orcs have decided to be the defenders, and they're going to choose this deployment zone for their side, which means the Tyranids will be the attackers, and they'll be starting over here. Now, we've selected our attack ops, we've selected our equipment, so we're going to go through our equipment now, starting with the Greenskins.
Right, so for my Greenskin team, I chose 2 fire teams of boys, consisting of 4 boys with 2 Gretchen. I swapped one of the boys out for 2 Gretchen on each of the fire teams. For the heavy gunner option, I chose a rocket boy for each team. Each of the boy is equipped with a slugger and a chopper, and I have a knob as a leader. The knob's got a boss pole, and his weapon, the boss pole is his equipment. His weapon is a combi rocket, which allows him to fire a rocket as a one-use thing during the game, and he's got a power claw. The other equipment I've got are targeting things on both the heavy gunner boys. So in summary, the equipment, boss pole on the knob, which gives them 3 APL, and a targeting thing on the rocket boys, which gives them +1 to their ballistic skill on their rockets. So yeah, that's my team.
Right, so we'll now go through the Tyranids. So I've gone for a fire team of warriors, and we've got a warrior leader with a death spitter there. We have a weapon beast warrior with a lash whip, bone sword and dual scything talons. We have a warrior heavy gunner with a barbed strangler to try and get some of that sweet blast action. and we have a fire team of gene stealers. And the equipment that I've gone for is all on the gene stealers. We have an acid maw on this guy, flesh hooks on this guy, flesh hooks, acid maw on this one, and then this last guy here has adrenal glands.
So is the acid maw guys the ones with the tongues?
Yeah, well, not the tongues. They actually have a little a green sac underneath their chin.
Oh yeah, true. Cool.
So they actually what you see is what you get with the gene stealers this time.
Cool.
So we are going to then deploy our models, and we will do the scouting options, which we'll come back to show you what we choose in the scouting and see who gets the initiative. So we're back after deployment, and the Greenskins have deployed their green tide, all concealed except the one rocket boy over here.
Correct.
And the Tyranids have gone for all conceal, deploying like this. We also went through the process of numbering the objectives. So this one remained 1. This one's now number 2. So during turning point 2, that's disabled. During turning point 3, that will be disabled. Turning point 4, that one will be disabled. Now what we're going to do is just reveal our scouting options and determine who has initiative.
We've got barricades down as well. Just show you where they are. I've got one in the greenskin deployment, not 2, and then I've got another one just here.
For the Tyranids, we've got a barricade there, next to that guy, and barricade near objective 1. So now we're just going to reveal our scouting options. So I went for 3, and he's gone for 2, which is changing in order during turning point 1. I've gone for a free dash. 2 beats 3, so the Greenskins will have the initiative.
Woo!
And we're going to head on into the strategy phase. If anything occurs in that phase, we will come back to film that. If not, we'll go straight into the first activation. So in the strategy phase, neither team revealed any tac ops. The Tyranids have spent 2 CP on lurk and stalk, which means they get a free normal move. So this weapon beast here moved up. He also did the free dash, so he's done a free dash as the scouting option, and he's moved up to get to here. This objective is disabled because it's turning point 1. Lurk just means that if an operative has a conceal order, or they are ready and they get shot at and they're in cover, they can retain an additional dice for that cover. So we will...
Pretty good.
So we're now going to move into turning point 1, Greenskins initiative, and go from there.
Right, so for my first activation, I've moved this rocket boy from in this little cubby down here. He's gone up to there, which was 2 circle up, and then circle across, which puts him just there. And he's going to shoot a rocket launcher at this warrior here. I used my scouting order change on him because he was concealed, so he's engaged now. He's got a targeting thing, which gives him +1 to his ballistic skill, so it's going to be 4+ to hit. So that symbol's a 1, so that's a miss, and that's a miss. But I got a crit and 2 hits.
Now, so the warrior's going to, is it AP, what's the AP? Is it AP1?
The profile is AP1 and Splash 1. I'm not sure Splash is going to...
Yeah, there's no one
affect
within circle for that crit, so we can ignore that. It's AP1, so I can retain 2 dice for being in cover thanks to the lurk strategic ploy, so I'm just going to retain 2 normal saves, and the warrior's going to take the critical damage, which is how much?
Critical damage is 5.
5. So the warrior leader there is going to take 5 damage, taking from 19 to 14 wounds remaining. So the Tyranids had a Gene Stealer move up from this position and dash to end there. And for the Greenskins, what did you do?
This guy under here, can you see him from there?
Yeah, I can see him there, yeah.
He moved from just behind this little wall, did a normal move through here, activated this point, and then Minehead, this little grot over here with a mine as a helmet, he's not too smart, came from behind this barricade, did a dash and then a normal move to there, and he's currently technically holding that objective behind the barrels, remaining concealed.
So Tyranid activation next. So we're back and no more shooting has occurred, so it was just a whole bunch of moving. The Tyranids, we have the Gene Stealers have moved up to there, 2 to there, 1 there. We have a warrior over here, 2 warriors there, Gene Stealer here. For the Greenskins, we had
Everyone,
go ahead.
Basically, I moved everyone forward a bit more. There's a guy under here that I got on this point. I was hoping I could capture this turn, but I can't. Shouldn't have moved him there really, because next turn this is going to be off. Can't capture it. You saw me move the rocket boy here. The other rocket boy with an engage order is currently on top of this terrain piece. Didn't get to shoot anyone because of lurk, unfortunately. The boss knob was moved from behind this to there. Everyone's basically moved towards these 2 points, really. I managed to capture this one this turn. Got a VP for that. But yeah, everyone moved forward, basically, that's it.
Yeah, and these have moved up and essentially holding that to, I imagine, to score it next round.
Yeah, next round should be interesting.
So now we're just going to roll off and see who has the initiative. So we'll start with Tyranids. 3. So initiative for the Greenskins. So for strategic ploys, the Tyranids have gone for lurk and stalk again. So the warrior over here did his 3 normal move and he moved up to there.
Yeah, from behind this, hopped over and then came to the wall.
I also revealed attack op sabotage, which means I need to perform a 2 AP action whilst in triangle of a heavy terrain feature that is either within Pentagon or wholly within Pentagon of the opponent's drop zone.
And my attack op that I revealed is rout, which means that I basically have to incapacitate an enemy operative whilst I'm within Pentagon of the opponent's drop zone. I score 1 VP for that, and then if I do it again in a subsequent turning point, I get another VP.
Strategic ploys?
I've spent 2 CP on 2 strategic ploys. I did Daka, and I also did Wah. Daka is every time I make a shooting attack, if I retain any critical hits, I can turn one of my failed hits to be a successful normal hit, which is obviously quite handy with orcs because they're not very good shots. And Wah, in the raw attack dice step of combat, if I get 2 or more normal hits, I can turn one of those hits into a crit instead of a normal.
Right, so with that, the orcs have the initiative. We're going to go into start turning point 2 with the orcs starting off.
Okay, so my first activation of turning point 2, I activated my little grot under here, and he did a little dash towards the point and then captured it. And then with the second group activation, I activated Minehead on this point and claimed that point as well. And kept him where he is because he's in cover and concealed. I didn't change either of their orders, so they're both remaining concealed.
Right, on to the Tyranids.
I can re-roll.
So for the Tyranid activation, the leader warrior over here is going to take a shot at the rocket boy over there up on the vantage point.
Ooh.
So he's going to have 5 dice, and he's hitting on 3+ because he's the leader, and he's using his Death Spitter. That's a crit and 2 hits.
So I need to roll my save.
Yeah, so it's no AP, no special rules, so you've got 3 dice for your
5
defense.
plus save. get a critical save, and the other two weren't.
So
as it stands,
you
I
would be
would block
taking
the
8
save.
wounds.
So I could re-roll or use a tactical ploy, which means I could basically do just a scratch and ignore one of the damage for a CP. It's probably better than re-rolling it. I'll do that. I'll spend a CP to ignore one of your normal attack dice. So I just take
so
damage
that
from 1.
Rocket Boy is going to take 4 wounds, and then for the last activation of this warrior, he's just going to do a normal move, probably this way, to stay obscured from the heavy cover.
For my other activation, I'm going to activate this Rocket Boy. He's dashed to the end of the terrain, and he's going to shoot at this warrior. These jutting out bits are light terrain, so the warrior still has the ability to retain 2 dice when he gets hit. It's AP 1, 5 attacks, 4 plus, because of his targeting thing. Great.
Ah, that's great news for the Tyranids.
But the Daka means I got a crit, so I can select one of my failed hits to be a successful normal hit. So I got 2 normal hits and a crit, just like last time he shot.
So same as last time, I've obviously up with Lurk again, so I can retain 1 for being in cover. I can retain another 1 for having a conceal order, and I can't roll my 3rd because of AP 1, so I will block those 2 normal dice and take the crit, which is 5 damage, is it?
Just double check. Yes, 5 damage. There's no one around for splash, so
It's 5 damage, so that warrior will go from his 18 wounds to 13 wounds remaining. So for the Tyranids activation, we're going to get some blast action going here. This warrior gunner here dashed out to that, changed his order to engage, and is going to shoot this boy.
Who's concealed, but he's not in any.
He's not in any cover.
He's a valid target.
So we're going to start. We're going to start shooting him, but then we're going to go and do this guy, this knob.
Everyone in range, just so you know, is he's going to be shot. It's within circle, which is the boss knob, this boy, and there's one underneath here as well. So there's going to be 4 targets in total.
And we think the grot is also in circle, but we think that he's technically concealed because he's in triangle of that little piece of cover. So that's what we're going to go with.
Yeah, we're not sure on that rule. So
if anyone knows any different, then
leave it in the comments.
Yeah. So first shot. So that centre boy, 5 attacks, looking for 4 plus. So that's 2 hits.
Is there any AP on this?
No AP.
So I've got three saves, 5 plus. I make a critical save.
So he saves 1 of them, and I'll take normal damage, which is 4 damage.
Okay, let me just get these dice out. So he's down to 6 wounds. There we go. I'm gonna have to think tactically here if I want someone to not take any damage.
And then I think we're just going to go with this boy here next.
Okay.
So again, 5 dice, looking for 4 up. Which is a crit and a hit.
So same deal, 3 dice, 5 plus. A normal, so I take the crit.
Which is 5 damage.
Okay. So he's down to 5. Is it half or less to be injured?
Yeah, it's half or less, so he's not counted as injured yet. I don't think. We'll just double check that.
10 wounds and that.
Yeah.
We'll check it afterwards.
I think it has to be below 5 to be injured. So we'll do the boy that's just tucked in here.
Yeah, do you want to show them?
Yeah, I'm just showing it on there. That one there.
Yeah.
5 dice, 4 plus again. It's just 2 hits again.
I mean, they're not great rolls, but I would prefer them to be worse.
Well, I'm hoping that the great roll is going to come against the boss.
I've noticed how you left.
That's why I'm saving him for last.
So it's around 4 dice, then not 3. I don't know why.
Yeah, that'd
3
be
dice,
nice, wouldn't it?
4 plus 1. So he takes.
The boy has a 4 plus.
No, I said 5 plus.
Oh, right, okay.
I think I said 5
I
plus.
thought you said anyway.
It's
Yeah.
the 5 that.
So you block 1.
Yeah.
And he takes 4. So he's got 6 wounds.
Yeah, because I did roll a 4 and took it out.
Yeah.
I can find the 6 on there.
Finally, we'll get onto the boss knob. Let's pray for some god roll in here. No, just a crit.
I think you've got
crit
2
and a hit.
hits on all of them.
Yeah, crit and hit. Let's hope we don't get any
So
saves.
the boss knob, I think he's got a better save. I think it's 4+. Should know this by now, really. Yeah, he's got a 4+ save and 13 wounds. So, defense dice is 3. So I
Block the crit.
save and a crit.
So you block them both.
Block them both, yeah.
Excellent. It's just what I like to see.
That's annoying now because I was saving my CP for just a scratch for.
You'd already done just a scratch earlier though.
Oh, I
So
I was saving my reroll for.
Oh, for him,
For
yeah.
the boss knob, but he's the safest one, so I should have used it on the other guy. Oh well.
Well, that's the end of the Tyranids, so Orcs next.
Could have been worse.
So for the Orcs activation, go ahead.
Seek my revenge for all my boys that have been hurt. And for himself being hurt actually as well. I'm going to activate that gunner boy. And I'm going to shoot the warrior that just made an explosion next to him. So it's going to be 5 attacks. Targeting thing moves it to 4+ instead of 5. And with my tactical ploy, Daka, I could get an extra bit of damage in.
So that looks like a crit and a hit.
And because I've got a crit, I can turn one of my failed hits into a normal.
Yeah.
A normal hit. So crit, hit, and that one will become a 4. And it was a 4 when I dropped it.
Now, because this guy is an engage order and he's been activated, I can't retain 2 dice. So I'm only going to retain 1.
Splash. Is the splash going to affect him? No, it's not, is it?
No, there's no splash there.
AP 1, no.
So I get to retain 1 to block one of the normals, and I have to roll the other one because I can't retain that for lurk.
Let's hope it's a failure.
More than likely. Yep. So I'm going to take a crit and a normal, which I think is 9 damage, isn't it?
So yeah, the normal's gone.
And I get 1 mortal
Crit and
wound.
a normal. Crit's 5, normal's 4, yeah, which is 9 in total.
And I take the mortal wound from splash as well.
Yes, you do. I think he didn't take that last time either. I think we forgot, but we'll leave it out.
So he takes 10 wounds. So for the Tyranids activation, this Gene Stealer just used Divert Power to score a VP and then just passed on his last one. We've also taken 1 wound off the leader here and off of this guy here, because they did both get hit by a crit from the rocket, which also inflicts 1 mortal wound. So
I'm pretty sure they did. If I've got it wrong, you can leave it in the comments.
I think we have, because like we said,
yeah,
he had 14 wounds left. So yeah.
So my next movement that I did was activated my 2 Gretchen, my remaining 2. This little guy skittered from around here and charged this Gene Stealer. Bold move. And then this guy did the same, different guys, same Gene Stealer type, round here and charged him.
Why don't you show us the epic charge movement that he did to get into battle against that Gene Stealer?
I mean, it's not a legal move, but I like to think he jumped up here
and just
get a lower view, and then like went.
Attack with the grots.
And they're not going to attack because that would be ridiculous. But
well, it might be interesting, but maybe later on.
Interesting for you.
So for the Tyranids activation, the Gene Stealer here did his free dash up to this point, and then he performed the sabotage action on that heavy terrain, which is within Pentagon of the drop zone, which was along here.
Yeah, it's from corner to corner there, so it is within.
So Tyranid scored a VP for that, and then on the Greenskin turn,
I charged him from, he was about here, I remember, ran around and he's charged him, so I turned his order to engage, obviously. I'm going to attack the Gene Stealer, and I get +1 to my attack because of the grot helping out.
it's your weapon skill.
Is that what I said?
You said attack, so like just to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
So you're hitting on a what? 2
plus.
The 2 plus now. Yeah.
And if I get
2 normal hits.
Like 2 normal hits, I can turn one to a crit.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 plus. All hits, no crits, unfortunately, but that's not too bad.
And the Gene Stealer is going to have double rending claws, which is 5 attacks, hitting on 3+ with relentless and rending. Rending meaning if I get a crit, I can retain a normal hit as a crit as well.
Maybe it wasn't such a good idea attacking a 5 attack.
So we're looking for 3+.
Oh dear.
And it's relentless, so I can re-roll that miss to a hit. So it's a crit and 4 hits. And because I have a crit, I can, because of rending, I can turn another one into a crit.
Okay, so my orc's going to die.
Well, he's only got 5 wounds. You get to deal some damage first.
I've already done just a scratch, haven't I?
This turning point, yes, you can't do that again.
Yeah, there's no point re-rolling because I'm supposed to get a crit. The chances of that are pretty low. Can I have a minute to think?
Yeah, we'll come back.
Tactics. Right, it didn't take much thought really. Just found out how much damage it did. I'm going to die from 1 crit from the orc, so probably should have thought about that before actually attacking. So I'll do
4 damage.
4 damage with a normal hit.
And then the Gene Stealer will do a crit, which is 5 damage, which will kill the orc. So the orc dies, and the Gene Stealer's left with 5 wounds remaining.
Yep.
So for the Tyranids activation, the Gene Stealer that was behind that green barrier there, he is charged up to fight this boy. Just get a shot of him there underneath.
Sneaking about.
So he's going to have 5 attacks, looking for 3+. That's absolutely terrible. Thank God Gene Stealers have relentless.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's it's a lot better. At least the hit. I can't complain. So just 5 normal hits.
So I get 4 attacks with the orc. 4, not 4 plus.
Looking
3
for 3+.
I get a crit and 3 normal hits.
So I think I'm going to have a think about what I'm going to do here, so
Yeah.
we'll be right back. So fortunately, my Gene Stealer's going to die here. There's nothing I can do about it, so I'm just going to hit him for normal damage.
I'll hit you for the crit, I think.
And then I'll hit him again for normal.
And then I'll hit you for normal too.
So crit in a normal is 9 damage from the orc, which kills the Gene Stealer, and that's 8 damage to the orc, which leaves him with 2 wounds, and that is that.
Yep. I've used the boy that was here to charge Gene Stealer again, and the grot's going to help him out again, pulling at the Gene Stealer's arms. I'm trying to keep him out of the way, giving him +1 to his weapon skill. It's going to be 4 attacks, it's going to be 2+, because of the grot.
If you get a crit, there's no point in me rolling, which you do.
2 crits and 2 hits. That's a pretty decent roll.
So it's dead Gene Stealer.
It would have given me another crit actually because of the wire, which would have been pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't think you actually need that, do you? Let's be honest. So for the Tyranids activation, the weapon beast that was in this doorway here is going to charge the grot and the boy on that point, and he's going to fight the boy. The boy's going to have an extra +1 to his weapon skill, but he's going to have -1 attack due to the lash whip on the warrior.
Really annoying.
The warrior's going to attack with Scything Talons, which is 5 attacks, looking for 3+, and it's balanced, meaning I can re-roll one of my dice. So I will re-roll one of those fails into a fail.
Classic.
And that's a crit and 2 normal hits.
So I've got 3 dice, 2+. Looking for 6s so I can initiate wire. No 6s unfortunately, and I do get a miss.
Right, so how much damage do your normals do?
Roll 1.
Alright, okay. 1 CP.
Yeah, I'm just seeing how many guys I've got left to activate. Can I have a minute to think?
Yep. So second thought, he's not going to spend any CP because he'll die anyway, even with an extra hit.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit him with a crit, which is 6 damage.
So then I'll hit him with a normal, which is 4, I think.
Yeah, and then I'll hit you with a normal, which is 4, which is 10 wounds, which will kill the boy.
Takes him down to 0, yeah. Okay, I removed my boss knob from down here. He scaled the wall onto this platform, and I'm going to shoot him with his combi rocket, and I'm going to use his one-time limited use rocket. So once I use this, I can't use it anymore. So it's going to be a 5+. He doesn't have a targeting thing like the other guys.
I hope these all miss.
Well, I've got a CP left, so I can re-roll. I hope they don't miss. But it could. It's 5+. I'm just hoping he's just as lucky as he was in the blast, where he didn't take any damage. Okay, 5+ is,
of course,
a crit and a normal, and then a lot of misses. Should I re-roll one? Nice burp, by the way.
That's just my disgust at those that you're rolling.
So yeah, I'm not going to re-roll, I don't think.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Right, I'm going to roll 1. I'm going to retain 1 and roll 1. In the crit, block them both. Excellent.
Damn it.
That's the 4-round Emperor's power.
I forgot to include that I had Daka active, which lets me turn one of my failed hits into a successful normal hit. So I would have had, or I do have, 2 normals and a crit. So the crit and the normal would be saved by the warrior. The warrior would take 1 mortal wound from the splash from the crit. And then it would take, I think it's 5 from a rocket.
I thought crit's 5.
Could be rocket. Yeah, crit's 5, and normal's 4.
Just got 3 wounds left.
After that move, I dashed off the edge, and then he's down there now.
For the Tyranids activation, Gene Seal that was just behind this wall here has just done a charge against both the boy and the grot, and he's going to attack the boy. Going to have 5 dice, looking for 3+. It's relentless, so I can reroll these 2. And because I got a crit, I can change a normal to a crit, which I will do. It's going to be 2 crits and 3 normal hits.
And I've got 4 attacks, 2+. Need to factor in wire as well to get. I've forgotten about that, I think, for a couple of attacks. 2+. Oh dear. So I've got 2 hits, let me just check.
It's 2 normal hits, turn 1 to a crit.
One of them into a crit, yeah. So I have a crit and a...
You going to re-roll anything?
How many wounds does the...
Gene Seal has 9 wounds.
And how much damage does it do? Because I've got 6 wounds, haven't I?
The crits are 5 and the normals are 4.
I think I will re-roll, yeah. Actually, no, I'm not going to.
No. Alright, so I will block your crit with my crit.
And I'll hit you for the normal attack.
And then you'll die.
Yeah.
So that boy dies and the Gene Seal survives with 5 wounds, I think. How much is the normal attack? 4 damage, yeah, 5 wounds. So what did Greenskins do last turn? You moved someone?
Move this boy from behind there just onto this point.
Okay. And for the Tyranids activation, this Gene Sealer here is going to fight the grot.
How cruel is that? Attacking a poor innocent girl.
They're sneaky gits, those grots. So it's going to be 5 attacks, looking for 3+. Let's re-roll these fails.
Well, you need to.
And the crit turns a normal to a crit. I think it's a bit overkill for a poor grot.
I don't know if there's any point in me rolling, but I will anyway.
How many wounds does a grot have?
5.
Oh, he's just dead. Crit's 5 damage.
Okay.
So it's a dead grot.
I mean, let's roll just for the sake of see how good my rolls are. 3 attacks, 5+.
Oh, there's a crit in there. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, it's a dead grot. That's the end of the Tyranids activations, and onto I think
I've got 2 more guys left.
a couple more Greenskins left.
For my last 2 activations, I did a move and a dash with him. He was back here onto there, so he's on that objective marker, and underneath here, I haven't turned his tokens over because it's hard to get to him, but I just passed with him.
And we're going to roll for initiative. It's the Orcs initiative again.
Yep. Looking at that. This turn, I'm going to spend 1 CP on Wa again. So that takes me down to 1.
And I spent my one generated CP on Stalk to move the Gene Stealer up to there. And so it's now the Orcs' first activation.
First Greenskins activation. Activated this guy and claimed both points. I've got the boy on this one and the Gretchen, which totals 4 APL. Same on this, totals 4. It's got to be 2 points.
And for the Tyranids activation, the Gene Stealer down here, on that contested point with the Orc, is going to fight him. He's going to have 5 dice looking for 3+. Rerolling his fails for Relentless. A crit means can turn a normal to a crit.
Is that because of his...
That's for rending.
Clause?
Yeah.
I've got 4 attacks. I am injured though, so it's going to take me from 3 to 4+. I do have Wa activated, but I'll see what I get first. Crit and normal. I think if I remember correctly, I can turn a failed one into a, or is it normal into a crit?
I think it's 2. You get 2 normal hits. One of them can turn into a crit.
2 more normal hits turns a crit. So I didn't get 2 normal hits. I got a crit and a normal. So,
but if you don't spend a CP and do just a scratch, he's dead. He's only got 2 wounds.
Who?
That boy underneath. Because I'll just hit you first and you die. So
I see what you mean. Does that Gene Stealer at full?
He's got full wounds, yeah.
Capacity.
So you want to think about it, or
yeah.
So he's decided to
just
take damage and die, and keep his CP for something else.
I've charged from here to there against this Gene Stealer with that boy. It's not a very big charge, but I get +1 to my weapon skill because of the grot helping out again. And it's going to be 2+ to hit 4 attack dice.
If you get a crit, there's no point in me rolling. Any crits there? Nope. There's 2 normal hits though.
So 2 normal hits let me turn 1 into a crit, don't they?
So he's just dead.
Yeah, so because of that, I'll throw a crit first, which will take away the 5 remaining wounds on the Gene Stealer, which will kill him.
So for my activation, the Tyranids, the warrior here with his barbed strangle is dashing up to that, and he's going to take a shot at the Orc on that objective, the boy.
We've had to have the warrior facing backwards because
he cannot...
that's how Tyranids are. You can't put them close to any walls because of all the bits protruding from them.
So we're going to use our imagination for him facing the correct direction. So the first shoot attack's going to be on the boy, which is going to be 5 dice looking for 4+. All hits.
4 5s. What's the chance of that?
Oh, there's 1 4 in there. 4. Oh, you said 4 5s, yeah.
So 3. Is there any AP?
No AP, nothing. So you got all your 3 dice.
5+. Save 1. That's great.
So that's a dead
That's
It's a dead boy. A dead boy.
It's
a dead boy. And now we're gonna shoot the little goodie with it.
Right, on to the next one. Let's just forget about that.
So it's another five. It's another 5 dice looking for 4+ on the goodie woody.
Not the goodie woody.
That's a crit, and that's it.
I think it's a 5+ on the. No, it's a 6+ in it. Yeah, it's just.
So the crit is 5 damage. So it's dead. Grot, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, the goodie woody's dead. The goodie woody.
You poor goodie. Okay, so we will. That's the end of the Tyranid activation. Onto the Greenskins.
Next up, I've charged this warrior with the glowing head from my boss knob just around the corner. Sprinting around, he's going to get assistance from his grot again. Grot's been helpful in this game. I have 1 less attack because of the lash whip, but the grot is going to push his weapon skill from 3+ with the power claw to 2+. So it's going to be 3 attacks, 2+.
Come on, Tyranids.
I have the potential for a reroll here, or just a scratch, and I have WA active. So
come on.
Hopefully, if I get, well, let's see what I get.
Get ones. Oh god. So one of them turns to a crit.
One of them turns to a crit with WA. Thank you for reminding me.
And I have 5 dice, 3+. And I can reroll 1 for balanced to a miss, as is tradition.
Okay, so you've got 8 wounds left.
Yes, 8 wounds remaining.
I will crit you for 7.
Yeah, and I'll crit you for 6.
I'll spend a CP to just a scratch, so I won't take any damage from that.
Yes, so we all love that ploy.
And
Wonderful.
then I will hit you for normal, which will kill you.
Yeah.
So I'll take my CP away.
I think I'm going to go with the train of thought that CP is cheating. So for my activation, I spent 2 AP and uploaded viral code on that Gene Stealer, and then did his free dash just to move up a little bit more. And that was it.
Couple of the other turns, I don't think we mentioned it, but I've scored 2 points for route last turn. It was over here, I think, because I had through within Pentagon. I killed someone while my guy was over there last turn, and then this turn, the Gene Stealer and the boy with the blue ponytail.
Yeah, so those 2 VP for that, I don't think we mentioned it, but yeah.
This turn, I've activated this Gunner Boy. He was up here. He's been there for most of the game. He moved circle to here, which brought him within triangle of the edge, dropped down, and then he's moved the rest of his movement distance to there, which was 2 circle. And now he's going to shoot the Gene Stealer that's under there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this one here in the shadows. So targeting thing 4+, AP1, which I don't think it's going to affect the Gene Stealer because of his invulnerable save.
There's a 5+ invuln, so I still get to roll all 3 dice, but it's 5 up save, so it's not looking good.
So 4+. Look for some 6s. Oh. 1 6. And a hit. The rest are fails, unfortunately.
So I've got 3 dice looking for 5 ups. Getting 1. So I'll take the crit, which is a mortal wound and crit damage. Mortal wounds from the splash.
Yeah. Crit damage is 5, I think.
Yeah, it's 5, yeah. So I take 6 damage, which will take my Gene Stealer down to 3 wounds, and he will be injured if he is not within pentagon of a synapse. Dude. So for my activation, my leader here is going to move up to there, and he's going to take a shot again at the rocket boy up on the top there with his Death Spitter. So he's going to have 5 attacks, looking for 3+.
Is there any AP on this one?
No AP, no special rules, just simple standard shooting
I don't
weapon.
like how you're rolling crit, like a crit every turn.
Makes a change, doesn't it? It's a crit in 3 hits, and what you're after 5+.
Yep. 95. Oh.
So it's a crit in a normal, which blocks my crit in a normal. So
I take 2 normals, which probably kills me.
Yeah, which is 8 damage there.
Yeah.
So that rocket
He has
boy.
6 left, so that kills him.
Yeah.
Outright, it's blasted off here.
And that's my activation over there. That's all my activations done. So I think there's just 1 activation left for the Greenskins over there, and see what happens there.
Got 2.
Oh, 2.
Grot underneath there.
All right.
This activation changed his order. He leaped over there and he's charged this warrior here, the heavy gunner. So that's going to be 4 attacks, hitting on 3s.
He's only got 3 wounds left as well, so any
If I get a hit, he's
any
dead.
hits will kill him.
So 3+.
So hoping for all misses. No.
No. Crit, 2 normals, so yeah, he's dead.
So I have no more left to activate, and because the Greenskins have 1 left, I'm going to get to Overwatch with my leader here, who's going to take a shot at the boss over there, who still has full wounds. Instead of hitting on 3+, I'll be hitting on 4+, because of Overwatch. 5 dice looking for 4+. So crit and a hit.
Be -1 for Overwatch.
Yeah, it's 4+.
I get to retain 1 because I'm in cover.
Yep.
So I'll retain 1. I need to roll 4+ these 2.
You need to roll 2 normals to block that crit.
So I need to roll 1.
Either 1 crit or 2 normals, yeah.
Okay. 2 and a 1, so...
Take a crit, which is 5 damage.
Yep. So he's down to 8. 13.
So that's the end of turning point 3. You're going to turning point 4, but first we're just going to roll for initiative.
At the end of the last round, I just passed with the Gretchen underneath there. Just kept him on the point.
Yep.
So yeah, we need to roll off. Let you see. See if I can get initiative again. Oh no.
Even if you get a 6, I get it because you had it last time.
Yeah.
So, initiative to the Tyranids for the final turning point. We're back for the strategy phase if anything occurs. So, Tyranids, I didn't play any strategic ploys.
I played Daka again for 1 CP, leaving me with 0 CP for this turn.
And no more tac ops have been revealed. We've still got all of mine revealed and the routes revealed. No more on the Orc side. For the Tyranid activation, I spent my last CP on my warrior leader to give him an extra APL called Will of the Hive Mind. And he moved up to that objective there. He activated it to score 1 VP, and for his last APL, he's going to shoot the boss with his Death Spitter, which is going to be 5 attacks, looking for 3+. Which is a crit and a hit. So you can retain 1 again for cover, can't you?
Yes, I'll do that. That's reminding me.
So again, you either need 2
retention.
normals. You need 2 normal saves or a crit here. And you get the crit.
Save and a normal. Crit, save and a normal, sorry.
And that's Tyranid's activation.
Okay, so Greenskin turn. Activating this gunner boy, and he's got line of sight on the leader now. So I'm going to activate him, obviously shoot him. So 4+ with the targeting thing, 5 dice.
Ooh.
3 crits.
Jesus Christ.
And a normal hit. I don't think Daka applies, not that I really need it. But if I get 2 normal, if I get a crit, I can retain a fail as a normal. So yeah, it does count.
And is there any point in me rolling to save this Tyranid warrior?
Well, I think you should roll just for the viewers.
Or for you, for your satisfaction.
Well, yeah, it would be very satisfying as well.
I would, I guess, retain 1, roll 1.
So you get a crit and a normal. So take a
just,
crit away, take a normal away. So you get hit by
5, 5,
5,
4.
10, 4. 14.
Which actually only just kills me, to be fair, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as that happens, I will reveal attack op, which is Headhunter, with being the fourth turn. I don't score the second VP, but I do score 1 for that. And I will also activate Deadly Marksman. I don't get any points for that as yet, but it is activated. If I get someone else, which I can't actually do unless I Overwatch, which isn't going to happen.
No.
But I thought I'd activate it anyway, just to play the game right, you know. I haven't finished his turn yet, though, to be fair. I think I'll probably just move him around onto this point. So he's going to go back there. He's going to put him there. End of Greenskins' turn.
Alright. So the Tyranid activations, the Gene Stealer under here activated the objective number 2 and then passed. For the Greenskins, the grot underneath here activated that objective and then
passed, and then Minehead just shuffled around the back of the boss knob just to protect him, just in case he was to move someone up and acid more than maybe. But now I'm activating.
Well, there's also my Gene Stealer down here. He stayed there. He uploaded viral code for 1 more VP, and then go ahead.
I'm activating the boss knob. He's going to dash into this little cubby hole, or behind the terrain, sort of, to get a better line of sight on the Gene Stealer under there. And I'm going to go for the classic orc shooting, which is obviously very reliable all the time. Use his shooter, which is going to be 5+ 4 attacks. So one hit.
Don't think I have cover there. So just 3 dice looking for.
Not according to the line of sight rules.
Looking for 5+. Which is none.
So I don't know how much damage it didn't think I'd hit. It's 3 damage.
So he's dead because he has 3 wounds left.
Oh, nice.
So dead Gene Stealer. Not that it matters at this point anyway.
No.
So the Tyranids only had 1 guy left who'd already activated. So the final boy here, he just moved, didn't do anything because there's nothing else left to do. So
Didn't really matter if he moved or not, but we wanted to finish the game in its totality.
So we'll count up the scores and see who wins.
So end of the game, end of turning point 4. The game lasted the whole turning points actually, which is pretty cool. The winner was the Greenskins. Fairly close. The Greenskins scored 9 points in total, getting 3 for tac ops and 6 for objectives, primaries. The tac ops that I scored 2 on route and 1 for Headhunter. It would have been better if I could have scored 2 if I'd have got the kill earlier in the game, but the leader was pretty well hidden behind heavy terrain for most of the game, so it was hard to get it. So what was the Tyranid score?
And for Tyranids, I scored 4 for primary objective. Just could not contend with the sheer volume of grots and smelly orcs on the objectives. So I ended up getting only 4 for primary and then 3 for the secondary, which was 2 for upload viral code and 1 for sabotage, trying to use infiltrate, but I think it's not one of the best options. I think maybe security is probably a better one for Tyranids.
I think it depends on what the mission is, I suppose, and what how many guys you take as well. That's a factor, and your APL limit. But I mean, we thought in this game, seeing as we're both here, it'd be cool to have a little discussion at the end on how we think the game went, what we think about the factions we used, and why we think the game went the way it did. So I was using Greenskins. They're probably my favourite faction in Kill Team. I do like Commandos, but I like just the classic Greenskins, and I think they're actually pretty good. I play with them like they're like my main faction.
Yeah, I think Greenskins are definitely underrated as a kill team.
Yeah, I think so. You don't see many people playing with them on battle reports either. Because it's all about commandos.
You get quite a few bodies at 10 wounds, really good close combat, especially, I think, on my side of things, the choice of Gene Stealers was probably a bad choice because it's less guys. If I'd gone for Swarm, I would have had more guys with a little bit more shooting. Orcs don't have that great of a save. And
No,
as we saw in one of the fights, I charged an Orc with full wound Gene Stealer, charging an Orc with full wounds, and Gene Stealer died. Which isn't great because you only get 5 Gene Stealers and you've got quite a few Orcs with 10 wounds and really good close combat profile.
It is really unpredictable combat, like compared to the old kill team. You can't rely on it anymore, which it does make the game more exciting and makes it more swingy when you come into combat. And it's easy to forget how unpredictable it is. When I think the first charge I made in the game, my Orc died. He was like half wounds, but still, like it's if you don't get the right rolls, or if your opponent gets good rolls and you get average ones, then you're dead. And if it's a close game, you don't really want to be going into combat much. But having said that, both of these teams are combat focused teams, really. Like in terms of their abilities, obviously I was using 2 gunner boys. I think that in Greenskins, rocket boys are a great choice, and the Nob having the combi rocket is a good choice too. I don't know about the squads very much, but the rockets can be so powerful. Like in the role where I got some like 3 6s, 2 6s, it just anyone that you hit.
Yeah, still salty about that.
It just devastates them. It's hard to get 2 critical saves.
The rockets are we were saying this earlier, is the rockets basically venom cannons, but you spend some equipment points to get them to 4+, and when you pair it with something like Daka, is it that what it's called?
Yeah, the shooting.
And you get a crit, it turns a miss to a hit.
If you get a crit, you can turn a miss to a hit. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So essentially, you almost got. I don't think you get. Do you get 4+ on the boss with the rocket?
Or no, he's 5+. He's 5+ with his.
So it's not as good, but you still get at least like 1 shot with a weapon with a venom cannon profile. I think maybe 6 warriors might be good against the orcs for more shooting.
That would
because going into combat when you've got a little grot just clipping at your heels, giving +1 to a boy.
Grots are great, man.
So dangerous.
Like I didn't use grots at first when I was playing Greenskins because I was like, I got 5 wounds. Their melee is terrible. 5+1, and then 2 for a crit. But utility wise, just like if you replace 1 boy on each fire team, like I've done with a grot, 2 grots, they're group activated. And on missions like this, if you split them up at the beginning and send them to different objective markers on the board, activate them as your first activation, you've got 2 objectives captured. If you are sat on it, if it only costs 1 to capture it, which most of them do, you've captured 2, which puts your opponent in a difficult position then, especially if they've got no group activation or no 3 APL guys. It puts pressure on them, and sometimes that is enough to make your opponent make the wrong decision in certain instances. I think I made the wrong decision at the beginning. I was too keen to use my rocket boy and try and get a cool like critical kill, loads of crits, instead of going straight for the objective to capture it. I should have done that, I think.
Yeah, but you have so with the grots, you have so many extra bodies, and the fact that a grot can get onto an objective and contest it against a Tyranid warrior is just it's useful, especially if the warrior's already activated and you just think, all right, I'm just going to charge a grot in, just not do anything, because why would I?
Yeah, that's what I did. Not against warriors, I did it with Gene Stealers, just to contest the point and to force you to use one of your APL on your Gene Stealers to either
to deal with
to kill him,
yeah.
Which you could get hurt. It's unlikely, but you could get hurt in that, or to make you fall back and then basically nullify that activation. And then if you charge them like I did, and then just use them to buff an orc like a normal orc in combat to a 2+, like 2+ in combat is as good as it gets, really, isn't it? And with 4 and 5 damage on your chopper, it's really good. I think grots if you get too many grots, they're obviously not going to be very good. I think 4 is probably the maximum you could take without it tilting the favour of the other person against you. But utility-wise, 4 grots, I think that's really good. It seems to work really well.
Yeah, I think if more people use Greenskins, like especially you still get just a scratch, which is also really powerful as well. Like
yeah,
you could potentially, especially with your boss, you could charge a Tyranid warrior, you could hit him first, just to scratch the warrior's him again. So you're getting two hits in, and
is that what
you might only take
the
one.
Game? Is that what we did in the game? Because I used just a scratch, didn't I?
Oh, not in the sense that you were doing it to. You did do it to this whip guy here.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if he had full wounds, you could potentially kill him and only take maybe one hit. You used it to take no damage from him.
Yeah, and that's the thing about just the scratches. You don't announce you're using it until, like in combat, for example, and you get a hit in, and then your opponent chooses one of their dice to attack you with. That's when you announce that I'll just a scratch on that one, and then I'll ignore that damage, and then you can do some more damage. Like it's really frustrating. Not that that's the point of the game. You don't want to really annoy your opponent, but it's frustrating because it's so powerful. Even though it's a one-off thing, you can only use it once per turn, but it can be so crucial to what you're doing.
It's perfect to use in close combat as well.
Yeah,
because it really sort of makes it more likely that you're going to come out with a win.
Yeah, and I think with Greenskins, the gunner options, you can have a big shooter, or you can have the rocket. I don't know why you would take the big shooter, to be honest, unless you're against a swarm army, maybe. Because you get 6 shots, it's 5+, it's fusillade, so you can shoot more than one target as long as they're within, I think, circle.
You never split fire there, do you?
No, never split fire. And it's only 2 or 3 damage compared to a rocket launcher, which, you can increase the ballistic skill with a targeting thing, but the damage just isn't worth it, I don't think.
No, it doesn't seem worth it to me.
For the special rule as well, you can have AP1 with double the damage, or you can have fusillade. I've not been in a game where fusillade has ever been worth having. Like even if I don't take a big shooter.
If you're doing the same if you're doing 3-4 instead of 2-3 with fusillade, that might be all right.
But yeah, if the damage was
6 attacks,
two for the normal damage, it's just not enough.
And you're getting only one more attack than you are with a rocket, so yeah, I don't think it's a good job.
2 times theoretically you could do 12 wounds with 1 shot, but you would need to roll.
5+ though as well, isn't it?
It's
terrible.
But let's just say you have a targeting thing 4+. 50-50. It's unlikely you're going to get 12 wounds, and then you got to get the rolls, and then they've got to not save it. So it's just not worth it.
I think if I'd gotten some better rolls on that first Barb Strangler shot that hit like 4 orcs instead of just getting 2 hits every time, maybe things have gone a bit differently. At least I would have hoped out of 5 rolls on a 4+, you would kind of expect 1 to die.
Yeah, statistically it should have. I was worried about that, to be honest. The thing we found about Tyranids, especially warriors with the heavy weapons, they're so unreliable. Like they can be great and do loads of damage, but they can also just do nothing. I know that probably seems pretty silly to say because everything's like that, but their weapons, they seem to be so honed to be swingy, where you just can't even rely on taking or doing a bit of damage, really. And you get the thing is we were saying that Greenskins are basically, they've got everything Tyranids have, but better.
Yeah, because the Gene Stealers have great close combat. The relentless, the rending, that's all great. When you've got if an Orc boy charges a Gene Stealer, chances are the Gene Stealer's dead, and you get more Orc boys, and they can do some shooting if you want to. I think if you put a team of 10 Gene Stealers against a team, I don't know how many boys would you get if you just went all boys.
You get 10.
You get 10.
You get 5 per team, yeah. If you don't take any grots.
I think that 10 boys against 10 Gene Stealers, I think you'd probably end up winning against Gene Stealers with that, I reckon.
You'd take 10 boys and you'd have the boss knob as like an 11th.
Yeah.
Because he's the leader, so they're already at a disadvantage numbers-wise, and then wound-wise, they're at a disadvantage. Their ability to not be able to be shot while in concealment, though, in cover, that was worrying me at the beginning. I thought that was, well, it did spoil a lot of opportunities that I would have normally, because I moved on to vantage points the first time with my Rocket Boys, just for the opportunity to shoot, because I'd forgotten. I mean, I did know about it at the beginning of the game, but I was hoping that I'd be able to somehow overcome it, which I just didn't manage to do. I think if he hadn't had that ability on those Gene Stealers, if it was just warriors, they would have taken a lot more damage every turn.
Yeah, I'm thinking this. We've had a game a while ago of 6 warriors against Greenskins, and they absolutely destroyed. And I think the reason for that is with the 6 warriors, you have more shooting. You can take a venom cannon, barb strangler, and some guys with devourers or even another death spitter. And then what I could have done is just take shots at the Rocket Boys. They're a threat to the warriors. Get rid of them and just start moving warriors up, shooting boys, soften them up, and then charging them. I think the Gene Stealers, they're great against something like Space Marines that can shoot twice, all that sort of stuff. So you can stay concealed, charge them, and that's great. You can avoid the shooting completely with 10 of them. But I think against something like Greenskins, which are also like a match for Tyranids with close combat, I think you're better off going 6 warriors. I think.
6 warriors is a lot harder to beat. There's just the 6 times 18 wounds. Like you could kill a warrior in one shot with a rocket launcher, but it's not likely. And you can't, if you charge a warrior with a boy, just because of the wounds difference, even if I get all hits, I don't think I'm going to kill it. If they've rolled good as well, they're going to block and you're going to hit, and you're going to get killed in that. Just if you're exchanging hit for hit, the boy's going to die first, just like the Gene Stealer die to the boy, but just the other way around.
Yeah, but I think if you charge in, what you could do is you take a grot, charge him in, don't do anything, charge a boy in 2+. He's probably going to die, but I think a couple of boys would take down a warrior. But if you take, what we'll probably do is take 2 weapon beasts, shove an acid maw or something on them, and then you could use maybe Will the Hive Mind and get a shot off, charge and fight.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best way to do it. And usually the warriors to sort of move up, get objectives, and just take shots.
That's the grots. The grots again helping the increase the weapon skill.
They're just so annoying
because they're not worth killing really. They're so insignificant in terms of wounds and ability to do damage and like just consequential ability. They're so insignificant that it's not really worth. Especially if you've got limited APL, it's not worth wasting one to shoot it or to fight it, because you killed a grot and you've used a warrior's turn when you could have shot someone, meleeed someone who actually mattered, or will of the hive mind onto another point. Done something that you really need to do, kill an orc, kill something else.
If there's a boy and a grot next to each other, who are you going to fight and attack first? Boy.
Yeah.
The grot just sits there, just being annoying.
So they end up getting ignored, which is great if you're running grots and orcs, because if the grot gets left behind, you can just use him to help the rest of your team. But yeah, I think tac ops wise, I didn't do very well with mine.
That's probably more down to the Gene Stealers keeping concealed and you going for the glory with the Rocket Boys on top straight away.
And with keeping your leader, you kept him back behind the heavy terrain, which obviously you can't, with a certain distance away, you can't shoot at them.
Yeah, it was obscured most of the time, wasn't it?
So I scored a rout, 2 points on that. I couldn't... Deadly Marksman, I couldn't get a shot in the right place to activate it until the last turn, which obviously was pointless.
I mean, if I managed to get all my tac ops, I could have won that.
Yeah,
but
easily.
I could not get behind enemy lines, was terrible. I couldn't get a guy past just a line of orcs, can't get past them.
I mean, if I hadn't have scored Headhunter, I would have had only 8, which would have been 1 and 1. Yeah. And I honestly didn't think I would score the other 2 tac ops that I had, because it was only because you moved him to the middle that he became available to shoot. I wouldn't have been able to move the far enough distance to shoot him.
Yeah, it was the only way for me to get that extra VP on number 1 and deny you it, basically. I was hoping he wouldn't die. Didn't expect you to roll like 4 6s.
Yeah, that's when we have our normal games and I use Greenskins, those those kind of rolls are what I usually always get, and it's great for me. But
it must feel great for you.
it's not so great for you. What do you think of the mission? This mission? And
Personally, I like this one because I think it's cool. You can select. Because the obvious thing is to select number 1 in your opponent next to your opponent's drop zone. But what happens is, then your opponent can almost like castle up around 1 and just say, right, I've got 3 more turning points left in this game. I can just get 1 VP every turn on this point. Whereas if you were to do something like,
I think we said if you put number 1 in your deployment zone, oh no, not deployment zone. I think if you put number 1 next to your deployment zone, then first turn you can score your own, and then move a few guys onto that one.
No, if you put number 1 next to you, you can't get it, can you?
Not the first turn. No, I'm talking about subsequent turns.
Right, okay.
If you put number 1 in yours, first turn you can't.
You can just ignore it and push up, can't you?
And then push up because the rest of the game you're going to be jumping from the other objectives. But if you put it in the opponent's thing, which is what I did, then your opponent's going to castle a few guys around it, and they're going to push forward towards you, which, depending on what army you've got, you don't want that. If you've got an army that can't fight Tau, then you don't want that to happen. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good mission. I think terrain-wise, we should have had a bit more diverse terrain, maybe, not all heavy. But I think I'm only saying that because it ruined my ability to shoot my rockets.
Yeah,
I think I did pretty well with rockets, regardless. That's not the sole focus.
Yeah, at some point you have to go into engage, and then you can shoot your rockets. So it's heavy or not, I don't know. I think it was covered. I think the terrain was all right in this.
The other thing I forgot to say about orcs is that what was I going to say? The rockets, I can move and shoot the full distance, whereas other heavy weapons you can't. But yeah, anyway, if you think we could have done anything different or better, leave it in the comments because we're always interested to know. But yeah, that's the end of the game.
Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you later.